Good Erev Shabbos. The Shulchan Aruch writes that we should say the parak of Mishnayos of Bameh Madlikin on Erev Shabbos immediately prior to Marav and reciting Baruch Hu. However, we don't say it when Yom Tov falls on Erev Shabbos or when Yom Tov falls on Shabbos, because one of the things we mentioned in the parak of Bameh Madlikin is that immediately prior to Shabbos, we want to make sure that all of the trumos and masros were taken. We wanted to make sure that all tithes were taken, which is something that we do not do on Yom Tiv, and therefore we skip the parak of Bameh Madlikin on when Yom Tiv falls on Erev Shabbos or Shabbos itself. Shulchan Aruch also says, though, that there are those who have the practice not to recite it on Shabbos Chanukah, because some of the wicks which we mentioned in the parak that are kosher for Shabbos may not be kosher for Chanukah, although the Ramah says that our practice is, in fact, to recite it on Chanukah. Now, why do we say this parak immediately prior to Baruch Hu? Why do we say this parak on Erev Shabbos? So the Mishnah Berurah explains simply that the parak deals about the halachos of lighting candles of Shabbos, as well as the three things that a person must mention in his home before Shabbos, making sure that Meiser was taken, making sure an Erev was made, and making sure that the Shabbos candles were lit. And therefore, it's very appropriate to recite it as we are welcoming in the Shabbos. The Mishnah Berurah points out that there were those who would say it after Marav in order to provide time for someone davening their silent Shemona Esrei to catch up to the tzibur, to catch up to the rest of the community. However, similar to the reason we recite Magen Avos. However, Shulchan Aruch writes that this is inappropriate because we are talking about lighting candles and doing things which are even malachos, and therefore once it's already long after Shabbos, it doesn't make much sense to say it after Marav, but rather we say it before. However, one could claim that even before Marav, this would not make sense, because according to that logic, it should be done before Boi V'Shalom, before the end of Lechadodi, or Mizmor Shir, because at that point we've already accepted Shabbos as well. And in fact, the Aruch HaShulchan points out that that's one of the primary reasons why Nusach, Sfard, and others skip Bameh Madlikin always and recite instead the paragraph of Kigavna, the passage from the Zohar. So again, so we recite it as we're ushering in Shabbos because it deals with the halachos of Hadlakas Neros. It deals with what we do on Erev Shabbos, and it seems appropriate. Some have an issue with where we say it because we've already accepted Shabbos, and therefore they substitute the paragraph of Kigavna altogether. However, clearly the Ashkenazi minhag is to recite on every Shabbos this paragraph of Bameh Madlikin, except for the exceptions of when it falls out on Yom Tiv or Erev Yom Tiv. Have a fantastic Shabbos.